Alright, so we've moved a little bit closer to the trees after doing our general site assessment. Now we'll have a chance to check them a little bit more sort of in-depth up close for both biotic problems and then some abiotic ones. Some nice tools to have, simple, inexpensive, would be a hand lens, which normally I wear around my neck, but because I have a mic on, I don't want to do that. This makes observation of small insects, mites, even some signs of pathogens a lot easier to do in the field. I'm just using some magnification. The other thing that's quite handy to have along would be a pair of pruners, which you can take samples with in case you can't diagnose the problem in the field and need to send samples off to either a plant pathology lab or an entomologist on campus. And then the other small hand tool that I have along is a soil knife for probing around the base of trees, just digging around, excavating, see what you can find below the soil surface, because there are a lot of problems that are located down there and you see the symptoms above ground in the foliage or in the branches. So with this one, let's take a look, see if we can sort of figure out what's going on here. Again, this is the one that's showing not death like the one we will look at later, but showing some yellowing. Not your typical time of the year to see yellowing on an eastern white pine. A little bit later you might see a little bit of needle loss, and that's more inner, but here it's sort of all over. Observing these, you can take the hand lens and take a look at the needles and try to see what you can find here. One of the common insects that shows up on eastern white pine is pine needle scale, and there are a few on this particular tree and the other ones here, but even though that is a potential biotic problem, that is not the case with these particular plants, because the population levels really are not that great, so it's not uncommon to find a few of those around. The other thing we'll do is just briefly take a look at the base of the tree. We'll use a soil knife for that, just kind of fight our way back in here. So going down and checking for girdling roots, which do not see on this particular tree. It's a little hard to get in here because of the branches, but you can easily try to excavate this away and see if you can find any girdling roots. Also, if the trees were field dug trees and left in the burlap in the wire basket, a lot of times, years after they've been planted, you could find the wire that was used to tie up the burlap girdling the base of the tree if that was not removed. And in this case, that is not what is going on. So, still don't really see too much as far as what is causing these problems. Can't attribute to anything with the site. Can't figure out anything specifically environmentally from talking to the landscaper, with history of this particular property. So we're still have not arrived at an answer yet.